my name is Cryanide, and today we will be doing a very different video that diverges from our normal type of content. Usually we do tier lists and let's plays around here. However, I found this very well made iceberg by a Reddit user named AmazingAndrew47. Shoutouts to them, and today we're gonna review them and say what each of the things on this iceberg mean. That being said, welcome to the official Punch Out Iceberg. Little Mac. Little Mac is the protagonist of the Punch Out series and is seen in both the original Punch Out on the NES and Punch Out Wii. He also has had an appearance in Super Smash Bros. Gigamac. Gigamac is a one-off character that can only be accessed through the multiplayer version, or the multiplayer option in Punch Out Wii. The WVBA. The WVBA is a fictional boxing company in the Punch Out universe. Zallard 1. Zallard 1 is a very well-known speedrunner in the Punch Out community who gets insane times. That's the same can be said for Matt Turk. Mario referee cameo. In the original Punch Out for the NES, Mario is actually the referee. Star Punch. In Punch Out Wii, you can charge up a Star Punch by hitting well-timed jabs, and you can access the Star Punch by pressing A, ethnic stereotypes. Many people have accused the Punch Out games for having ethnic stereotype caricatures in their boxers. Punch Out arcade games. Before Punch Out NES, there were two Punch Out arcade games, Punch Out and Super Punch Out, which kind of sound familiar to Punch Out NES and Punch Out SNES if you ask me. Mr. Dream replaced Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is a professional boxer, very well known, and in the original version of Punch Out NES, he was the final boxer that you could go up against. However, after the licensing deal with Mike Tyson ran out, Nintendo replaced Mike Tyson with Mr. Dream. Punch Out Wii Donkey Kong Fight. In Max Last Stand mode, you can fight Donkey Kong. There is a chance that you can fight Donkey Kong. Knockout Punch. The Knockout Punch is a move in Super Punch Out, which can only be used once the player fills up the gauge. Piston Honda leads Sailor Moon. A YouTuber known as Shees, using a camera, looked at the textures of the book that Piston Honda reads during the intermissions, and the textures actually were from the manga Sailor Moon. Game names are reused. As I've said, this is basically how the arcade games Punch Out and Super Punch Out are very similar, though exactly the same, as the console games Punch Out on the NES and Super Punch Out on the SNES. Doc Lewis's Punch Out. Through Nintendo's reward system, you could buy mini-games as such. And one of these mini-games was Doc Lewis's Punch Out, a short game where you can spar with Doc Lewis in 3 different modes. Well, there's 3 different fights. Vodka Drunkinsky. In the original Super Punch Out, the arcade version, Soda Popinski was named Vodka Drunkinsky, so it changed for obvious reasons. Punch Out Wii Last Ditch Effort. Once you're knocked out in Punch Out Wii after getting knocked out 2 other times, there's a small chance that Little Mac won't actually get knocked down, and instead will get back up and you can have one more chance against fighting. Punch Out Wii without dodging. I'm pretty sure this is referring to the challenge Punch Out Wii without dodging by Skip the Tutorial, where he tries to beat Punch Out Wii without dodging. Arm Wrestling. Arm Wrestling was an arcade game, a spin-off to Punch Out, that also includes Ball to Ball. Power Punch 2. Power Punch 2 was an NES game that people theorized to have originally been second Punch Out, I believe. I'm not very sure about this one, though it does star Mike Tyson, so that's many people's reasoning. Doc Lewis invented the Star Punch. In the game Doc Lewis's Punch Out, one of his lines is, "I invented the Star Punch," you know. This is also shown through gameplay when Doc Lewis can actually Star Punch you. Mike Tyson can't beat himself. On a show of Jimmy Fallon, he invites Mike Tyson to play the game Punch Out NES and try to beat himself, and Mike Tyson comically cannot beat himself. Punch Out Animal Crossing game. In the game Animal Crossing, there are many NES minigames that you can buy, basically, and one of these are Punch Out. Hippo Island's location. I am unsure about this one, but I'm pretty sure this is referring to how Hippo Island is not a real place whatsoever, and there's no location. I may be wrong about this one. 100 lost headgear. In the video game Punch Out Wii, if you lose 100 times, then you will get 100 lost headgear. This is also represented in the first Glass Drill fight. He has 99 losses, but after losing to the player, he gets not 100 lost headgear. Mario characters in Punch Out Arcade. I believe this is referring to the fact that there is Mario characters in the background of Punch Out Arcade in the audience, though I'm very unsure of this one. Frank Bruno's Boxing. I believe this is referring to the Punch Out ripoff on the Commodore 64. Punch Out trading cards. I'm unsure what this is talking about. Little Mac's voice. I'm unsure on this one, but it may be referring to the voice lines that Little Mac or somebody who looks like Little Mac in Super Punch Out, the voice lines he has after a match is over. DK has no boxing experience. This is referring to the fact that Donkey Kong has never boxed, though K. Rool has. Super Punch Out sound test. This refers to the sound test menu that can be found in Super Punch Out. Fat Little Mac, I'm pretty sure this is referring to the fact that in Captain Rainbow, a game that only released in Japan, Little Mac is, well, made fun of because he's fat, and I thought it was pretty funny. Super Mario Strikers graphic. I don't know. Disco Kid is Kid Quick. This is referring to the fact that in Punch Out Wii, in the files, Disco Kid is called Kid Quick. Who is the arcade game protagonist? This is referring to the fact that the arcade game has a protagonist that is not seen anywhere else in the Punch Out series, not in Punch Out NES or Punch Out Wii, and not even in Punch Out in Super Punch Out on the SNES, where there's a different looking protagonist. Punch Out and Kirby are in the same universe. I genuinely have no idea about this theory, so I just don't really know. Unfinished credits code. This is referring to the fact that you can see the credits in the original NES Punch Out. However, I believe in the Japanese version, they're unfinished. But you have to input a code on the code's input screen. Glass Joe won against Nick Bruiser. This is referring to the fact that after beating Nick Bruiser in Super Punch Out, you can see at the scoreboard G. Joe, which is obviously referring to Glass Joe. Do not edit this only English needed. I couldn't find any information about this one, and I'm unsure about what it means. Super Punch Out anti-piracy. This may be referring to anti-piracy methods that are found in Super Punch Out. Charles Martinet voices all characters in Super Punch Out. This is referring to the fact that every single character in Super Punch Out is voiced by Charles Martinet, which I definitely just butchered his name. The same voice actor voiced Mario. And that was all. I hope you enjoyed this video, and an obscenely small percentage of my viewers are actually subscribed. So if you've gotten all the way to this part of the video, please subscribe. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed, and have a wonderful day, you wonderful people.